Peace and blessings, you amazing and beautiful sports fans. I'm Ed Gladney. I'm Coach Ed Gladney, and this is Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today to check out today's show. Today, we're going to be talking about Jihad Ward and his recent interview. But before we begin, I'd like for you guys to help me out and like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share on all your social media platforms. Help me to make this show become one of the top programs that is out there. All right. So with that, I'm going to talk about Jihad Ward and his recent interview. As a coach, he's the type of player that I want on my team. He's what I consider a professional football player. He's about his business. He's out there to win games and help the team win games. And that's very important in today's day and age. Yes, you guys are going to be out there about, marketing themselves and getting the most for themselves and their opportunity, because playing football is a short shelf life. So I don't begrudge anybody that, but you still have to be a professional football player, and there are ways of going about it. Now, during his interview, there were a lot of questions asked, and I'm going to highlight a few of them. One of the ones that I right off the bat that I felt very interested in is he was asked if he feels that he fits into what Dable and Wink Martindale was bringing to the organization. And he said, yeah, he feels that he fits in perfectly. He feels he's very versatile, and with that, he's going to be able to adapt to, all the guys in the locker room. You don't always have to be their best friends, but you have to be respectful and be able to work with them. And that's where that a level of versatility comes into play there within the locker room. So that's important when you're dealing with 53-man roster, right now there's a 90-man roster, so many different guys, plus your coaches. So you have to be versatile enough to be able to interact and interchange with everyone within the organization. Now, when they asked about his personality, I felt it was very funny. He said, he's just living, just chilling, so, hey, he's enjoying being a professional athlete. Hey, most of us would if we could go out there and play the game that, we've grown up from our early young ages till now. One of the things that, is also intriguing, I think he has the qualities to be a leader. He has that great leadership qualities. He said that he makes sure that all the players are straight and that it's his job to do that. And what does he mean by that? That everyone is all right, whether it's mentally, personally, physically, hey, you're checking in on all the guys, making sure everyone is all right. And you would think in a locker room on a football team, everyone would do that with everyone, but it doesn't always happen, so, he does it, and that tells me that, has the great qualities to be a leader, to be out there, be vocal, and to help the organization. He's also about building the culture that is being instilled. He was quoted as saying, we need more culture. The things towards the culture building, he said that is coming along very well, that everyone is dialed in. And that's important. He spoke about, players not being able to have their time with their families. So, you're in the facility, in the locker room, at the practice facility, and in your meeting rooms, most of the day. So you're not going to be with your family. You're going to be around your teammates, your coaches. So, you do have to be dialed in. You have to be focused on the task at hand, whether it's, going over the game plan, focusing on your techniques in practice, studying film, that's where, you establish your culture, and then everyone has to be dialed in, going from there, because when you do have that culture impact in place, it establishes a strong brotherhood, because, the man next to you on both sides of the ball are going to be out there fighting for you. And you got to be out there fighting for them. And you also got to help them in practice as well as those guys, have to be out there fighting for you and helping you in practice. So, guys have to, as he said, come ready to work like Navy SEALs. You have to work to win games, and that's so true. The Navy SEALs part is an excellent point, because you do have to have that a certain level of a military approach in what you do and how you handle your business, because you're throwing your body around. The average person doesn't do that. So you have to have a certain level of mentality to be able to go out there. And being like a Navy SEAL, you do have to put your body on the line. You do have to sacrifice, and that's what these guys are working on right now. It's mandatory minicamp, but this is where you establish the foundation, your culture, and everything that's going to help you go throughout the season, especially getting ready for a training camp. Now he was asked about working with the players, especially in his own positional group, and he was alluding to you want to get to know your teammates, and when I say get to know them, it's not just, on a personal level, it's not about her going out and having a beer or going out to have dinner, but, you want to understand, each other. He said, when he was asked about Thibodeaux, Kayvon Thibodeaux, he said, he needs to know my background and me know his. It's deeper than that. So in other words, how do you go about your business? How does the other person go about his business? How do they handle certain situations? How do they handle the pressures in their life? The struggles, whatever is going on. How do you handle that and then come into work and handle your business? So, it's good at him as a leader wanting to know how a rookie handles himself, and understand his background and where he's coming from, and then help him, Kayvon Thibodeaux, as well as all the other rookies. But right now, this is his positional group. How does he, help him understand who he is, so that way you guys can feed off each other and help each other become better players, because ultimately what you want to do when you're in your positional group, especially as the outside linebackers, you want to be able to come together as one unit, because that's important. You come to the sideline after a play, you talk to each other, you tell them what you saw, in practice, you tell them what you saw in practice, help each other, what about this? Did you think about trying this? And it doesn't have to be the veterans to the rookies. It could be across the board. Younger guys can help, veteran guys, because the game is always ever changing. So, and that also points to, one of his strong points, where he wants people that he can trust. He said, when it comes to players and him trusting them, you ride for me, I ride for you. If you can't ride for me, I can't be around you. And that's so true. So if you can't trust someone, you don't want to mess with them, you don't want to deal with them, and that's more important than anything. Not a matter of friendships and all of that, but you want to be able to trust them. Trust that they're going to go out there on the field and give you their all. They're going to try. They're going to, when it comes to the meetings, they're going to go through their plays. They're going to study their film, everything, that they're going to go out there and commit to the task at hand, not just, go out there and collect a paycheck. So, that's important in the game of football, and not just in players. The coaches need to trust the players need to trust the coaches, the general manager, across the board, which is why Shane and Dave worked so well together, because they have that great level of trust. Well, that's also going to trickle down into the organization with the players, because if your head coach and your general manager are not on the same page and they can't trust each other, it's not going to, the players are going to see that. The other coaches are going to see that. And, they're going to wonder, and, they're not going to give you their full effort. But, that, that player's out there riding for you, and he knows you're riding for him. That's where that trust is going to be. So it definitely will help the program, and it help establish the culture and build something that's, that we as fans have been looking for. Now getting back to Ward's leadership abilities, he was asked about, Kayvon Thibodeaux and understanding, what's going on in terms of the plays. And, he said, you know, um, he wants him to study and know what he's doing when he goes out there to be on the field. Now it was also asked about if he's ready, and he said he's ready. I'm on him. He makes sure he studies the playbook. I don't want him to play slow. I don't want none of my guys to play slow. That goes for all positions. That's a great leader right there. He's going out there and making sure everybody knows what's going on. He's familiar with Martindale and his playbook, so he can talk to them about what needs to be done out there. He's played in this system, and it's going to trickle down to everyone across the board. And then when it comes to being a leader, he definitely takes that responsibility. He embraces it. Not many people will step up and be a true leader. Whether it's forced upon them, some people will run from it. But others will never step up and just take it. They'll just sit in the background and be a follower. So that's something that he's relishing, and he's stepping up, and he's ready for it. So I think that with everything that's being established right now, especially defensively, he's going to be a key component to the defense, from a leadership position, as well as going out there and performing, because he has the experience in this system. So I really am excited to, see how he and Kayvon Thibodeaux and the rest of the linebackers, outside linebackers, work together, and what type of camaraderie they develop, and also the competition, because, yeah, you're going to be out there competing. You're going to want to compete for starting time, playing time, and everything associated with it. So, it's really, really exciting, time right now with this position group. So, so I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you really do like this program, and I'm looking forward to bringing many more as we go along. So, as I always say in sports, make sure you turn it on and turn it up. Peace and blessings always.